Last year, there was a wildly popular release from Spinnaker. It was a collaboration with Seconde, and it was their 50 Phantoms. Today, we're seeing the second edition of the 50 Phantoms. It's a year later, and this is just in time for Halloween. The whole theme here, of course, is ghosts, and I have one hands-on to show you guys. There's going to be two different versions. This one is smaller, it gets a higher grade movement, and it gets even more lume, which was part of the appeal of that first edition. So I'm very excited to show you guys this. I'm very excited that they did this collaboration again because I missed that first one. So here we are with the second 2024 version of the Spinnaker Seconde collaboration. So here it is, just in time for Halloween, a second version, the 2024 version of the Spinnaker Seconde collaboration. And this one is limited to 888 pieces. There are two different versions. One that looks almost more like a traditional 50 Fathoms. So this is called the 50 Phantoms. And that one gets a ghost at the 6 o'clock position that is lumed. And it's a play on that original no radiation 50 Fathoms. You're also getting the ghosts, but the ghosts are now in the bezel, not on the dial. So they have escaped the dial and they are now on the bezel. This is their classic. That's what they're calling this now because it looks like the original. The original had, I would say it's a more monochromatic style. It came in black, white, gray, silver, those colors. There were a few different versions that were available. All of those were in 43 millimeters. So I would say the biggest change here is that this is now in 40 millimeters. So this gets a 40 millimeter case, and it is also pretty thin because you are getting a Miyota 9000 series in this watch. It is a 9039, and we'll get back to that in just a few seconds, but there is a little trick that they put into this watch that I think is hilarious. And I'll show you that at the Lume Shot, and I'll show it to you right now. I'll just throw up a picture of what I'm talking about, and then I'll explain it a little bit better later because this is a Miyota 9039. This is dateless, so just keep that in mind. This is the movement here, though, and you can see there's a ghost on that back crystal. I believe that is lume, so we will check that out during the Lume Shot. And then you have the rotor, which is dipped in blood. It's really good looking, and the Miyota 9039 looks great. So I think this case back looks excellent. It really does. I love the customizations that they did. It looks fantastic. You're getting a screwed-in case back. You're getting a screwed-in crown. This gets 150 meters of water resistance. But the reason why you're buying this watch is because of that dial and all of the elements that go into the dial. There are 50 custom molded ghosts on that dial. Each one is lumed. So each one of those little ghosts on the dial are lumed. You have applied indices. Those have an orange colored lume. Again, this is a Halloween themed watch, so they put orange lume on here. If you don't like that, the other version, the version with only one ghost on the dial and then all of the rest of the ghosts in the bezel, that one gets more traditionally colored lume. I believe it's like a creamy white or a white lume. So lots of superluminova going into this watch. You also get a lumed bezel. The bezel is a 120 click bezel. That is made out of hardened K1 mineral crystal. So that is not sapphire. However, you do get a boxed sapphire crystal on the front of this watch. It is not domed, it is boxed, so it looks very vintage. The bezel action is actually very good on this watch. Let's listen. Everything lines up, it looks really good, it sounds really good, and the feeling of the clicks is very solid. I think it's a great bezel, and I love the way it looks. It's also purple, so the color on this version is a purplish color. You get that in the strap. There are two different straps that you get. So here is the leather strap. I believe the leather strap is lumed, so these little stitchings that you see here in white, those are lumed, and then you have a really nice buckle on here. It says Spinnaker on it. It's polished, it's brushed. When you flip it over, it says boo. So again, they're putting a lot of details into this watch. Even the movement gets details. They've customized the rotor, the case back. They've done a lot here. Spinnaker and Seconde have really put a lot of details into these watches. And you also get a screwed-in crown, by the way, and that is signed with the S for Well, it's for Spinnaker, but it could be for Seconde as well. This also comes with a hat, by the way, which is also lumed. You can see a theme here. It also comes with a torch, which is a UV light, because there's so much lume that you're getting here that they want you to enjoy it. So you're getting a hat that has the Seconde logo. This gets a lot of lume on the dial, all different colors of lume as well. So lots to see here, so they want you to enjoy that. This is a 40 millimeter watch. At the bezel, it comes in at 39.9 millimeters. It measures almost exactly the same at the case. It gets a 47 millimeter lug to lug. It's just under 12 millimeters thick, and you have a 6.3 millimeter crown. The dimensions on here are very, very good. And for people who thought the previous version was a little too large, this will satisfy those people who wanted something slightly smaller. So this is just under 40 millimeters. Really, it's a 40 millimeter watch. On my wrist today, I have my Longines GMT. This is the Hydro Conquest GMT. I've been wearing this on and off for the past year and a half. I absolutely love this watch. It's a great GMT. And there it is on my 7.5-inch wrist. This is a 40 millimeter watch with around a 47 millimeter lug to lug and around a 12 millimeter thickness. It's just under 12 millimeters thick. The case is really nicely finished on this watch as well. It kind of reminds you, the case design here, of a 50 Fathoms, which makes a lot of sense from Blancpain, and that's what they were going for. But on the dial here, you're getting Spinnaker at the 12 o'clock or right below the 12 o'clock. Right above the 6 o'clock is one of those Easter eggs that they've hidden into this watch. Of course, it's a 50 Phantom, so it says that. And then right below it, it says 2 meters of water resistance, or 6 feet. So 6 feet under. Again, the Halloween theme. In keeping with that, I think that's really clever. I think that's really funny. And I like that they did that. Although this does get 150 meters of water resistance because you do have a screwed-in crown and a screwed-in case back. They didn't bother putting that on the dial because this was funnier. Makes a lot of sense to me. I like that. Price on this watch comes in at $445. That is with 2 straps. This is the 40 millimeter version, and this is getting a Miyota movement. I believe the previous versions got a Seiko movement. I believe it was an NH35. This one is getting a slightly more premium movement in a smaller case. It's also thinner. And overall, I really like the colors that they've used here. It's really fun. I love the purple and the orange. It works really well. But if you don't like that, they're also making that other version that doesn't get the orange elements. So you could definitely check that one out as well. Well, there you go. The lume is absolutely awesome on this watch. All of those little ghosts are lume. There's about 3 different colors. There's about 3 different sizes to those ghosts as well. All of the indices are lume. Those fence post hands, those are brushed. They have that orange lume in there as well. There's a diamond on the second hand as a lollipop. That is lumed. The bezel is lumed. There's also a trick date on this watch. It's not actually a date. This does get a Miyota 9039. However, it is perpetually Halloween. It's really hard to see, but if you can, I will throw up a picture of it as well. But there is a little 31 in between I believe it's the 4 and 5 o'clock position. That is always there. It's just etched in lume on the dial. That is not actually a date. It's just saying it's the 31st of October. So again, another nod to Halloween. Very, very clever. Again, that lume is in the bezel, and then you do have the stitching on the strap. That's also lumed. Flip over the watch, and like I was saying before, the ghost that I was showing you before on the glass, they have lumed that. So really a lot of lume and a lot of details going into this watch. Seconde and Spinnaker have really outdone themselves, and they've made a watch that is obviously a little bit different from the previous version and one that is different from the previous version. So it makes a lot of sense. These are a limited edition. They're 888 a piece. However, I think they will do a 3rd run, or at least that's what they're saying. There will be a 3rd run if there is demand, and they will take pre-orders for that. And I guess that will be a timed pre-order for those who weren't able to get the limited edition versions that are coming out right now. So these do come with 2 straps and a hat. So I'm not sure if those versions eventually, when those are offered, that they will come with that package, but you will be able to get this watch if you want it. So it will sell out probably, and then eventually you'll be able to buy it whenever you want because they're going to give you that opportunity, which is awesome. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Seconde? He does some higher end collaborations, but also he does collaborations with brands like Spinnaker. So these are more affordable, $445 for a watch like this with the Lume on this watch. Look how long this is lasting. It's pretty incredible. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.